Pickaxe.
5-day early access to every Cast Party episode, including Nocturne, ad-free episodes, behind-the-scenes info, exclusive bonus monthly one-shots, access to our community Discord where our community plays D&D games together, has game nights, and hosts so much more, all for less than the price of a single cup of coffee per month. Aren't convinced? Try out a free trial. 7 days free to check out the content that we offer only exclusively on our Patreon. Patreon.com/castparty. Support your favorite D&D podcast, all while getting some awesome perks. Patreon.com/castparty. See you there, cast and crew.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cast Party. My name is Colin McManus, and I will be your director for today. I am joined by Ryan McManus.
Hi, Ryan McManus playing Bjorg Jorgensen, the Jewel of Debauchery.
Anna Brisbane.
Playing Lenore the Fear, Chaos Fairy, excited to push all the buttons.
Nigel Deacon.
Hi, I'm Nigel playing Jackal Campman, the leper loner striving for companionship and control.
Vince Perino.
Hi, Vince Perino playing Tevin Alkin, the big robot guy who's not afraid to go pew-pew to get some more brain movies.
Raquel Skellington.
Hi, everyone. I'm Raquel Skellington playing Poppy, the tender-hearted giant.
And Luis Carrazzo.
Hi, everybody. I'm Luis Carrazzo, and I am playing Santos, the Glavinator. I was going to say great Glavinator, but I don't think he's great yet.
We're not there yet.
Nah.
One day.
Damn, guys, I thought he was pretty cool.
He's a pretty cool Glavinator.
Last time you all entered Carmina's office, taking a breath of cold, fresh air, feeling rejuvenating, and leveling up from your adventures. You spoke about what happened with the object that fell from Ilos's orbital that you all returned, and you told Carmina that it was indeed different from the one that fell in Twin Rivers. Carmina asked about your past together as well as your lack of memories. You all pressed Carmina about other planets, notably Silvrune, as well as tried to get information about Tevin, who she initially did not know had conscious thought. Her and Santos spoke of Darien and how she's going to start an investigation into Darien's actions. She also assured you that Nightshade was doing everything they could to figure out what has happened to Ilos, but they also have priorities elsewhere. Rather frustratingly, she did not have any other plans for you at the moment. She told you to wait and relax and that Nightshade may call on you in the future. You reconvened outside where you began your discussion about the meeting, though it was quickly interrupted by a scared woman asking for help. With all of you distracted, Dread, the man who was once drowning Lenore in the fountain, tried grabbing her and running off. Lenore's slipperiness made it hard for the Black Axe members to get her away from the group. This elven woman attempted to knock you all down while Dread did his best to keep Lenore in his grasp, all while Virgil used a handheld catapult to send down vials of magical liquids upon you. Fighting through hold person, darkness, tripping attacks, and grapples, you all were able to subdue the Black Axe members, who were unsuccessful in their grabbing of Lenore. You quickly forced the injured assailants away from the area as the guard was surely on their way. Speaking with them in the alleyway, you found out that Lenore had previously worked with them, and it was her plan all along to be caught drowning in the fountain. They explained how Darien had stolen something from Lenore. She tried stealing it back, and that's why she was exiled in the first place. They told you they were setting up a plan to get back into Darien's home to get it once and for all while helping the Black Axe get information on their captured leader, Rexius. They also provided a book to Lenore, which was, as they put it, the information she had asked for. It was a book on the Dreamkeeper of Silvrune, a magical being who grants wishes from its dropped feathers. The book was being brought to none other than Darien, but they were able to intercept it. Dread believes that Darien stole one of these feathers from Lenore, and now Darien is looking for information on how to use it. Now, the Black Axe members have left and headed back to As the Tree Falls. They told you to come meet with them if you want to be a part of their plan to break into Darien's house. You are all standing in the alleyway. It's only about noon right now and has been quite a busy morning. And so the scene is set. The question is, what will you do next?
Okay, should we go talk about this?
Talk about what we're not going to do anything, right, guys? We are
Why
not
not?
breaking and entering.
They were pretty convincing, I'll be honest.
Are you serious? You guys have to be joking.
Maybe we don't even have to break anything to enter. We can just enter.
That's still not legal, Lenore.
Yeah, but if no one finds us...
I think if we want to become persona non grata, we should do this.
Persona non grata?
It's becoming the bad guys in the eyes of the state.
The bad... Okay, in the eyes of the state, but who cares about the state's eyes?
Poppy puts her hands over her face and through her hair and takes out her ponytail and runs it down her ears. And she's just like, oh my God, I can't do this. And she starts walking in circles.
It's either we... I hate to say it, but at this point, it's either we break in or we side with Officer Darien.
I don't know if we're necessarily siding with Officer Darien by not breaking into his house, but at the same time, we're under extreme scrutiny by the very people that he works for.
But it's my property. He stole it.
You didn't even know that you had it until right now.
But I did, and now I know.
I do think at the end of the day, all of us, I gesture to the others, we're citizens. We're really nobodies. I think this decision is ultimately left up to the person under Darien's umbrella as I look to Santos.
Oh.
This has the most effect on you, not accounting for Lenore, but not only your livelihood, but your job is at stake as well.
While Poppy was walking around in circles, Santos started to pace like kind of back and forth and his hand on his forehead. I've just been kind of muttering to myself, okay, so Darien is going to be under investigation and Carmina is thinking this and, okay, wait, when did these members of the Black Axe, when did they say they were heading over to Darien's to break in?
I don't think a time frame was given, but the intent was there.
They're waiting for us to get back to them to see if we're going to be working together.
Yeah.
Okay, well, here's what I know about the law, is that there's the stuff that's set in stone, and then there's the stuff that you can spin. So there's two ways that I think we can maybe get away with it, or at least argue our position enough to give the other side a headache and let them leave us, get them to leave us alone. So here's what I got. We know that they're going to break in. We give them some time. We let them have a head start. And as a member of the Nightshade Trading Company, it is my obligation to catch them red-handed. So, based on what they've said, we have probable cause to go and follow this lead and investigate and catch them red-handed, and that's also going to buy us plenty of time to go there and do our own investigating. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh. Would that require arresting them?
Well, on paper, it might need to look like we meant to, but if we are, I don't know, too slow and they get away from us, then we did what we can, and we gathered some evidence about people that were trying to do stuff. But if while we're there, we stumble upon other evidence that can help support, I don't know, a certain internal investigation against Darien that I already know Carmina is intending to do, all I'm saying is that as a member of this city that needs to uphold the law, I feel like I have probable cause to be at Darien's estate to either catch these other people red-handed and arrest them, and I do the quotations in the air, or continue to find evidence for this internal investigation against Darien. I think that's enough for me. That's enough for me to go there.
As your friend, I have probable cause to come with you, invisible, and support you because you're my friend.
You're going to Darien's, correct?
Here, now that I'm gathering, I stop pacing. I stop walking back and forth. Santos takes a deep breath, massages his brow a little bit. We want to go to Darien's to recover what we think he took from Lenore. And we're trying to cover our asses because we know that the second we cross that threshold, the law's not going to be on our side. But and I point at my forehead, I am the law. And I get to spin this. What I'm saying, I am an official person. And if we get caught, then we at least have some explanation for why we're there.
You could lose your job.
I think I'm okay with that, if that's what it takes.
I have a counter offer about potentially not losing your job, staying on Darian's good side, taking care of the Black Axe people, and potentially getting Lenore's thing all in one go.
Oh, God, please go for
I
it.
get really uncomfortably close to you.
I'm going to set one of my hands upon your chest, and I'm going to wave my fingers, the little brass and the gold on my rings, doing little clinks and waves as I just wave them across your chest. We go to Darian and say there's an attack upon his abode. We say we have insider info that people are coming to his house. We are there for safety. We are there under Carmina's guide. We get access to his house. The Black Axe people show up eventually. We're already inside. We can break off. Lenore can go invisible. She can do her thing. It would take some convincing to Darian, if he's even there. But if we come and say we are worried about his own safety, I feel like that's favor with Darian, while still being in the location that we need. And then when shit goes down, which it inevitably will, we can pick sides.
So what you're saying is to snitch.
A little bit.
Say we go along with this plan, and we do indeed get caught. Why do we not just say we do not know the law? That should solve all of our problems.
That is true.
Will it not?
Honestly, Tevin, I totally understand where you're coming from. The problem is, we do know the law.
Yeah.
Not if you don't tell him. Just don't tell him anything. The less he knows, the better.
Does Darian have friends, or is he that hateable that he's got no friends?
I will say, last episode when you were talking with Carmina Santos, she was like, oh, I wonder who signed Lenore's paper. And she said, definitely not Thorn. And you asked why. And she said, because he's friends with Darian.
The patio member.
Oh, that's right. Thorn.
So I kind of feel like Jorg's idea versus Santos's is like asking for permission versus forgiveness. And I wonder if we ask for permission, if he's also gonna invite some people we don't want to deal with to protect him. And then we'll have more.
That was my one concern, was getting in. We would have to be very persuasive and very urgent with it for him to accept our security.
And then if that all fails, then what? We just screwed over my friends?
How far away is Darian's place from here?
You probably don't know where Darian lives. You would probably know the general area. It's a pretty quiet part of the city where more of the wealthy people live. He does not live in the gated community portion that is the confluence. You would at least know that, but he has a very nice house outside of it. So you could probably assume about where it is, but you've definitely never been invited.
Well, we want to look out for your pals, Lenore. We don't want to throw them under the bus, but we want to make sure that we're approaching this in a well thought out way. We got to get that back for you. We got to get your stuff back.
Option number 4. We kill him.
Whoa!
Hell yes.
No!
Then we wouldn't have to deal with them.
Well, that's true.
Just, let's save that for later. Right now is maybe not a good time when Carmina is directly looking at us.
She doesn't like him. She'd probably be happy not to put up with them anymore.
It can't be as, obvious as us. A group that he very directly doesn't like.
We don't need witnesses.
You don't need witnesses to make that kind of connection there.
You're gonna make my hair go light blue. Ugh.
Why don't we meet up with the Black Axe members that you know, Lenore, and we can learn a little bit more about how they plan to go about doing all this. It's very unlike me to overthink things, but I feel like I am doing that right now. Maybe we just need a little bit more, I don't know, something concrete. Do we know where to find the members of the Black Axe?
York does.
I do.
Then we should find them. Maybe we can learn from them where Darien lives, and at least learn what their timeline is.
Here's an idea. We split in half. Half of us go to Darius. Half of us go to get the guy out of prison.
But we need to get into Darien's to figure out where the guy is in prison, so we would have to go there and then split. Darien has that info, not the Black Axe people.
Rexius is who's in prison?
Yeah, we don't know what cell. We need to know what cell because that place is apparently real big and hard to get around. So I guess we can't just go and do that.
This prison, is that something that is part of the Nightshade compound? Is that under there? Have I ever been assigned as prison guard?
You probably know people who are and probably hear their musings because it's really boring. You know where it is, and you would theoretically be able to walk right in and at least talk with the front desk person.
Well, if we want access to Rexius, I think I can try to get it. Considering my position, if that's an avenue that we want to take, I can at least see about going in there myself. I don't know about breaking somebody out. That I don't know if he's innocent. I'll need to really look into that.
They said he was.
If we're going to Darien's regardless, I would rather not put you in potential danger and under the eyes of Carmina or Darien or anyone else, knowing that you went to then pry around and dig into information in the prison out of nowhere. If we're just going to find the cell number in Darien's place regardless, I feel like that's unnecessary suspicion.
Right. I need a drink.
Yes, lucky for you, the Black Axe reside in an underground tavern below a bookstore, so drinks are well in plenty.
Maybe we start there.
It is shady. They pulled a knife on me, almost killed me.
Oh, God.
Shall we leave no witnesses while we are there?
Devin,
Well, if a knife is pulled, yes.
you know, guys, I'm a big lady.
You're a big lady, yeah.
And I am kind of recognizable for being a big lady because I'm not just like a normal big lady. I also got pointy ears, and I'm just kind of nervous that I would be highly recognizable. I don't want to get locked up for something like this. They don't treat people like me great, okay?
You're not the only tall lady.
We could dress up Tevin like a lady.
I'll walk over to you and just take a little bit of your hair and like stand really close to you and kind of put it on top of my head. There, now you and I are one and the same.
So true, bestie.
Can I offer up an idea? I mean, Poppy, you're one of the fastest people I've seen. What if you stood lookout and then you are the easiest to get back to us? You don't have to do anything except get to us.
Oh, you want me to be the getaway guy? All of this just to become a getaway guy again?
Again?
Okay, fine. I'll be on the lookout.
If there's anyone that is truly against any of this, you can not go.
I'll go by myself.
Well, you can. I kind of have to take you there.
Do any of you guys have family?
No.
Do any of you guys have to return to somebody at home that you have to take care of?
No.
Not here.
Poppy looks seriously at all of you and is like, well, I do. And he's old. And if I don't come home, I am afraid of leaving him behind. I don't mean to be difficult, but this isn't that easy of a decision for me.
Poppy, that's exactly why I said that. If there are reasons to not go, but there aren't many reasons for you to go, that seems like a pretty obvious choice. We can use every hand that we can get for something like this. I'm very on the fence about it myself, but I don't want anyone to do something that they really shouldn't do or can't do.
If it helps, the tavern in which we will be going to first resides underneath a very quaint and very nice bookstore. I picked up these scrolls on how to do magic. There's plenty of stuff you could peruse if you wanted to stay above ground, safe, and wait for us to return with any info after we go down into the basement, quote unquote.
Poppy, you could be our alibi. You can go do something else entirely, and get, lots of evidence that you were doing whatever you're doing. And then if we get in trouble, we'll be like, we were with Poppy the whole time doing this thing. And you'll be like, yeah, they were with me.
Yeah, I don't like that. I walk up to you, Poppy. Look, your apprehension is warranted, and what everyone else is saying is it's finally. I feel like I'm catching up, and things are starting to make sense, and that the optics of this all is important to consider. Poppy, you're right. We can get in trouble. There's some of us that can afford that a little bit more readily than others, and there's some of us that can escape that more easily than others. Maybe some of us should avoid that if we can. Poppy, I think that you should stay behind, and I think I should too. I think having someone who is clearly Nightshade walking in there is going to probably cause trouble. It's probably not going to make you all seem as trustworthy. I'm the bad guy to them. I'm the person that's on the team that's holding their boss captive. I don't think I should go either. Tevin, I don't think you should go either, but because you're probably going to go in there and kill everybody or do something really bad.
You do make a good point. It looks like we are splitting up after all.
I think we should.
Are you guys gonna break in the prison while we're in the tavern?
Well, I was thinking about it. Not breaking in, but maybe we can get some info out of some people that I know. Everything on the up and up. Completely on the up and up.
On the up, and I fly up.
I mean, if I really don't want to be seen, I won't be. I'm assuming there's like a shadowy, dark area of the alley.
Sure.
I want to go disappear for a second. Can I roll a stealth check?
Yeah.
Oh my god, please. No, I got that one. No.
Oh, God.
Nice.
Poppy goes, well, if I don't want to be seen, no one's going to see me. I step back into the shadows and it crashes into a bunch of wooden cartons and everything like that. It comes crashing down. There's a cat that screams and she's like, oh God. And then comes back out again with trash in her hair. Never mind.
Yeah, okay, maybe you should stay back.
You maybe won't be seen because no one will want to look at that.
We are all going separate ways then.
Well, you're sticking with us, buddy.
Yeah, you stick with us.
Well, it was nice knowing the three of you, and I will miss you.
Whoa,
Hey,
whoa,
whoa.
Two
when
fingers
did we
salute,
get back up?
Oh, Poppy, wait, one more. And I tap you on your shoulder. One more decision you have to make before you leave.
She looks down at you.
I'm casting Prestidigitation to make a small rectangular screen trinket in my hand. The brass knuckles, and it just reads tip, and it says 25%, 50%, and 100%.
Wait, like it's saying for me to tip you for the brass knuckles?
Yes.
Does it say other option?
No.
I am going to like swing out the hoop back like hook end and just like hook him by the neck and just like pull it back.
Good luck, guys.
Wait, where do we meet up again? When and where do we meet up next?
Where have we met before? The tavern. What was the tavern where we had the
finger trap?
Finger trap?
finger trap?
So we have two groups forming. We have Bjork, Jack, and Lenore heading to As the Tree Falls. And then Poppy, Santos, Tevin. Think about where you're going. I want to start with the other group going to As the Tree Falls. Bjork, you take them all the way back to the banks where this bookstore is. You enter the small bookshop. You see the dragonborn man behind the counter. Again, does not even look as you enter, just continues looking away from you at a table where he's working on something. Shop has nice smell of incense. It's quite cozy, of course. But Bjorg, you take them over to the history section where you find the book with the black axe on it, move it from the top shelf to the bottom shelf once again. And the bookcase opens, revealing that staircase downward.
Whoa.
Neat.
You guys wouldn't believe this. They gave me the most convoluted, absolutely ridiculous riddle to try to get in here. It took me like 10 minutes to figure out. It really worked my brain.
It's real impressive.
Thank you. After you. Maybe do you want me to go first?
I fly down.
How are we doing this, by the way? Are you going invisible? Am I just yapping?
I'm in.
Okay. I was gonna. You're kind of a member of this place, regardless. So
I think we go in loud. We're a part of this now. How did I end up on this side?
Are we getting tattoos? I say loudly.
Lenore's heading in first, the other two entering behind. And Lenore, you enter into a tavern. For Bjorg, this time it's much earlier in the day, and you can see it's largely a different experience. There are much less people here. The people that are here are eating or have set themselves up at tables with papers, or in some cases, like mechanical parts that they're working on. It's overall much quieter here than last time. But across the room, you see set up in a nearby booth is Clove and Dread. Clove has her leg raised up onto the bench and a pillow underneath it, and it looks to have been tightly wrapped in some clean linens. And Dread is sitting across from her, and you can see he has a bunch of paperwork out on the table, and he's trying to organize it into piles, but even from here, you can see there's very little actual organization to the papers.
Well, there's our crew.
Hi, new friends, old friends, best buddies, homies, amigos.
Lenore, as you fly over, you see like someone just in another random booth goes, "Oh, hey, Lenore." Goes back to what they were doing.
Hi, wait. I fly to them. What's your name?
Oh, we've met before.
I assume, but I got amnesia, so I don't remember.
I'm Illyria. I was created by Miss Linja on Patreon.
Hi.
She's a really pretty elf woman with just long red hair. She's got a braid down the front.
How did we meet?
We met here.
Okay, bye.
Bye. You see Dread is looking over the booth waiting for you to come back over.
Lenore, good to see you. Glad you're here. Just the three of you came.
Yeah, it's safer.
Sure, if the other three don't want to be a part of things, that can happen.
I believe they do. It's just we didn't need the whole gang here to chat with you all. We have our decision. They just went to get other information. Try to get a little insider scoop.
Sit down. Going over plans right now.
Okay.
Dread scoots over in this big booth for you so you have more room. Clove looks like she just sits up a little bit, so her leg isn't quite all the way taking up this entire booth, but she still looks like she's hurting and her leg is up.
We've got 4 different ideas.
We have a few, but things are getting complicated. Do you want to start, or do you want to see what we've done?
Wait, but what's complicated? Because that might impact our ideas.
We're also missing like half the people that would be involved in at least half of the ideas.
I think we have a pretty good basis for what we need to happen. But with Clove now injured, that makes things a little bit more difficult. She was an integral part of the plan, so we'll have to make up for that shortcoming. Let me just find... No, not that one.
And is starting to go through a bunch of paperwork. And just a couple moments later, as Dredd is trying to compose his thoughts, you see Virgil comes over. He looks like he just came in from outside, like he was out in the city.
Mr. Bjorg, the others. Bad news. Darian found out we stole the book from him, and that we've been tracking his shipments. He's already ordered more security devices to his estate. If he's able to set those up before we get in there, it may take weeks to figure out what they are and how to get around them if we can at all.
So now we're in a rush?
We got the whole day. Let's go now.
Tomorrow evening will be smarter. It will give us more time to prepare. You all will need to do planning if you plan on going in, as well as tomorrow evening is an officers' meeting with Nightshade, so Darian will be out at least past dusk.
And we know that those extra defenses won't be up yet.
If you all are joining us, then yes, Dredd and I will do our best to disrupt the new shipments from Nightshade. Keep them busy so Darian can't get the devices before you are in and out of there.
Can we still help you if one of our friends doesn't go?
The more the better, but yes, of course.
You hear Clove pipes up. And what am I gonna do?
Nothing. You can't even walk right now.
Fuck that. I can at least be eyes. I've been casing Darian's place for weeks. Just get me up to that tree on the west side and I'll keep an eye out.
Would you all be able to get her in a tree?
Sure.
Give us your plan. What did you want to do?
We need to get in there and we'll get whatever was stolen from Lenore, as well as any information on the prison to finally break out Rexius. Tomorrow night is the plan, so we can spend tonight and tomorrow all day preparing. As for the plan to get in, well, again, things have changed a little bit. We don't know all of the security measures inside, and we don't know where this secret door is that Lenore found previously.
I found a secret door. I can find it again.
Yes, this is the one with the ring, and then he holds up the ring that Bjorg made.
Oh.
This is the key to that door. We just don't know where it is.
I'll find it.
I'm sure you will. We do have some information about the house, as much as I can give you. Darien's in a relatively quiet part of the city. Almost no one goes in or out of his estate. He does, however, have one person, a Nightshade member. He's a gardener.
He's a gardener?
He's a guard by day, and then does some gardening there. It seems, though, we haven't quite seen him do the gardening work.
At night? Is he pretending to be a gardener, but he's actually just a god?
Perhaps. He's there quite often. Spent a lot of time in Darien's house as well, not just in the gardens.
Maybe they're in love.
You see, Clove says, I told you guys.
I point at her.
I've seen him in there, no clothes on.
They're in love.
We just assumed you were joking.
Okay, so leverage.
Leverage?
Yeah, if we kidnap that guy if we need to, hold him hostage for a second.
That's terrible.
I'm just saying it's something we can use against Darien. I don't want to hurt this person. I don't know who they are.
His name's Lorian.
Okay, well now I know who it is. But I don't want to hurt Lorian. Just saying, if we needed to, we know that it's maybe a soft spot for Darien. And soft spots are weak spots. When hunting, I guess.
Lorian was the one who we were trying to knock out at the fountain, Lenore. The one who had the key to get into the house. Though we don't need that key anymore since security changed. Now he's able to just walk in the front door without setting off an alarm or anything.
Is he wearing anything when he walks in the front door?
Clove pipes up. Yeah, when I watch him now, he goes straight into the garden shed, comes out a moment later, and then is able to just walk right in the front door.
Right, but unless he's walking out naked, there's probably a good chance that there's something in there, right? Like what could be a necklace, could be a magic door.
For sure. I don't think Darien would go from locking his house to no security at all. Other than that, he's got a dog, but it never is in the house. I've only ever seen it in the garden.
What kind of dog?
Big dog. Brown. Really long ears. Sharp, almost.
Long and tall or long and floppy?
Floppy, but they have a pointed end.
What the heck?
Nothing I've heard of.
I've scoured this house from the outside many times, from every direction I can. There's a room on the second floor. Its windows seem to be enchanted to reflect the outside rather than show through. Whenever Darien enters this room, he's alone, and it's after Lorian leaves. He typically comes in after going to the parlor on the first floor. And he always has a drink in hand when he enters the room.
Every time? Jeez.
Oh, and don't be nervous if you get there and the lights are on. Darien's place always has lights on, no matter if he's there, Lorian's there, or anyone's there.
Big spender, huh? Okay. So the plan, I assume, is to go in quiet, right?
In quiet, get whatever information you can, and get what he stole from Lenore.
And we're not killing him?
Hopefully not. He hopefully won't even be there, so you won't have to kill him.
We did get word that he was being transferred. To where, I don't know. Still within the city, but a different position, it seems. Or at least away from his current post and subordinates.
That's good to know. We'll maybe try to figure out where he's going to be tomorrow night then. That might be a good thing to prepare for. But if not, Clove will be able to warn you from outside if he shows up.
Can you contact us, like, magically from outside? Or you just yell real loud?
She looks over to Virgil. Can you get the thing? Virgil goes over to just behind the bar, grabs a bag, and you can see him sifting through something. He grabs it and pulls it over. It's 2 devices. One that just looks like it's pretty much a metal box with a singular button on it, and then another box that he just sets onto the table.
What's that?
He hands the little device to Clove, and she clicks the button. The box on the table starts vibrating and almost rattling the table.
Oh.
Curious.
If I press this button, the receiver will pick it up and vibrate for a minute. It needs to charge in the moonlight overnight, or you can just zap it with some magic and it works, but as long as you're within 500 feet of me.
Okay. Cool.
Curious little device. I'll hang on to it, please.
I'll hang on to it because I'm coming with you.
Oh, yes, but the other side, we kind of need it regardless, so might as well take it now.
I guess you're right.
Clove, what were you going to do in this plan? Like, what was your role going to be? I think I'm among the quieter of the bunch, and if not, there's someone that has potential to be quieter, though I didn't see that much today.
My plan was to get in best I could. If I couldn't figure out how Lorian's getting in, break in through one of the windows. I have a little bit of sight for magic. Was hoping to get in and just try to see if I could find anything and avoid it. Stick to the shadows and try to find the door.
Okay. Well, I'll try to do the same, and I'm sure between the 3 of us and potentially up to 3 more, we'll get there. If we do it, I guess we still kind of have to verify that the others want to do it, that I want to do it.
I want to do it.
We know you want to do it, Lenore.
We heard Darian's been up to weird stuff too. Not just to you, but to Nightshade as well. We heard there's an investigation in him. And something's bad's going on, it might be good to know. Especially with his hatred for you, Lenore. You never know what you can find in there.
Yeah, he's a weirdo.
We'll meet tomorrow.
Are you worried at all about, if this goes wrong, catching more heat for the group?
The group's fucked. It's just the way it is. Without Rexius, we don't have someone organizing things. We have people leaving every day. This is our last chance.
Fair enough. We'll see what we can find about Rexius and Darian's place.
Where are we meeting you tomorrow evening? Back here, and then we go?
That works for me. Sounds like Dredd and Virgil will be busy most of the day trying to keep these shipments at bay, we'll say.
We'll, see you then, I suppose.
You guys start to head out, and I want to rewind a little bit and jump over to our other group. Santos, Poppy, Tevin. The others have just left.
I think as we started leaving, I started heading towards the finger trap. And I will turn around and just sort of say over my shoulder, I need a drink. And then maybe about 15 steps, I'll stop. I'll turn around and I'll wait to see if Poppy and Tevin start to catch up.
We're right behind you.
Listen, I didn't really have a plan. I just knew that, Poppy, you're right. Maybe that's not a good place, not just for you, but for the rest of us. Some of us stand out a little more, and maybe they needed better cover than what we can provide. I really don't know where to go from here, other than just grab a drink and wait for them, unless you all have somewhere you want to be. You said you had someone you're taking care of, Poppy?
Yeah, back at the farm. You know, it's been a little rough the last couple of days because I haven't been around, and, you know, on the farm, weeds grow quick. So if I'm not there, he kind of struggles to take care of it all.
And you have a brother, Tevin?
Yes, brother has been waiting patiently for me at home.
Look, we don't always have to be on assignment. If you have people that you need to take care of and that you need to check in on, then maybe that can be a priority while everyone else is doing what they're doing.
I am currently doing my number 1 priority, finding more memories. Doing that is easiest with you.
Why is it easier to find memories with us than it is to find them with your own brother?
It is the only way I found them so far. He has shown none to me.
With that, walk up to Poppy. At first, I put my hand on your shoulder Poppy, and I'll say to you, are you okay? And before you respond, I lean in and say into your ear, I don't know about this guy's brother. Something's weird about him.
I think me and you are on the same page.
If you need to go check on who you're taking care of, is that your grandpa?
It's my dad.
We can take this time right now to go check on him. We don't got to go up there with you. I'll stay behind with Tevin, but if you need a moment to make sure he's okay, we can give that to you right now. But at some point, I think we should go meet Tevin's brother.
Well, I'm pretty sure Tevin's place is on the way to mine. So if we want, we could just take a walk there and then keep going after, see if there's anything weird.
As long as we're not taking too long, I don't want them waiting too long for us at the finger trap. I want to get there before them, hopefully.
I think we should have time.
Okay. I'll go back to Tevin. Hey, we're going to go, let's go help Poppy look after her pops. How's that sound to you, Tevin?
That sounds wonderful.
Where's your place, Tevin?
Home is down that way. I'll just point in the general direction of where my home is.
Can you show us?
Yeah.
You want to see my home?
Maybe if you go there with us, maybe different memories will come back to you.
That's a wonderful idea. Maybe the two of you meeting my brother, it could cause more to come to him and I. This is a great idea. Would you both mind meeting my brother?
We'd love to meet your brother, Tevin.
Lead the way.
Well, let's go.
You guys head over to the banks following Tevin. Tevin does indeed make one or two wrong turns, but eventually is able to bring you all straight to the gate of Alkin Family Mechanics. There's a small wrought iron gate that is currently locked. And then behind it, you see a little bit of an entryway. It's cobblestone, but it's dirty. It's dusty. Off to the right, you can see piles of hay, a couple of barrels and boxes. The front of this building has a small entryway, a little sign that hangs that says Alkin Family Mechanics.
Oh, it makes sense that you're from a mechanic shop.
This is home, not a shop. What is a mechanic?
Kind of like Bjorg, I guess. Bjorg's kind of mechanic-ish.
No, but like, what? How do you explain a mechanic in equivalence to somebody who is a machine? Is it like a doctor to them?
Yeah, I think so.
I guess it would be like a human doctor, but a mechanic is a machine doctor.
Tevin's just gonna blank stare at you for like a good 30 seconds. He's just gonna start walking to the door.
Tevin, you continue upward towards the door, and this locked gate in front of you stands in your way.
I will just try to open it.
And it does not open. You've seen this closed before, but it was when Desmond was opening it for you from the inside.
This is a new one. One moment, please. Brother?
You don't got keys, buddy?
I don't believe so.
Do we see the front door from here?
Yes, you can see through the gate towards the front door.
Does it look like people are home? Are there lights on? Are there any evidence?
I'm going to ask you guys to all make perception checks, please.
Ooh. Okay. 16.
21.
Ooh, I got 22.
It's very bright today. The sun is out and shining, not too many clouds, so everything's just illuminated nicely here. Poppy, you notice that there's no lights on inside. There are multiple steam vents and chimney type things on the top of this roof. It's very industrial looking. There's no particulate coming from any of them right now. What you do see is one of the windows very close to the front. Looks not necessarily boarded up, but there's something wooden blocking from the inside, so you can't see in. Tevin and Santos, you see this, as well as see a few other things. Santos, you notice faint marks on the ground coming through the gate and off to the right. Looks like a two-wheeled wagon of sorts comes from this direction. And even from here, you can see the side of what looks like a small stables where a horse would be kept. even an area that definitely the ground is all marked up. Like this is where the wagon normally is sat, and it is currently not there. Tevin, you would know that is where Pickles is normally kept, and you aren't currently hearing any sounds from Pickles.
This is not normal. I apologize. I don't know where he could have gone. He might still be inside. Maybe he just cannot hear us. And I'm going to raise my arm and shoot at the door.
There's a loud gunshot that rings out across this area of the city. You make contact. You guys quickly realize that this is just a wooden door from the outside, but the sound it makes shows that there's like a metal interior. This is a much heavier duty door than it looks from the outside. You can see a hole through the door, however.
Oh, no. Oh, gosh. Okay. Tevin, we're trying to be discreet.
Making noise so he can come out.
At least we made a good call in making sure that Tevin didn't go with the other group.
Poppy's just like running her hands over her face like, oh my God.
Brother, please come out.
Oh God.
Wait, Tevin, I need you to look at this with me. And I'm going to point at what I noticed was the wagon marks on the ground. What does this mean to you, Tevin? Do you have a wagon? Or do you have something that matches these tracks?
Oh, are these new?
Yes. This part of the tracks, this is recent.
Oh.
Your brother has a wagon?
Yes, along with the one known as Pickles.
What is Pickles?
Pickles?
One of those large walking things. Horses, you call it?
Oh. Got it. I'm going to take note. I'm going to jot down what I notice about these wagons, how wide the tire marks are, if there's any grooves that are left in the dirt, like tire tracks, but not tire tracks. Anything that's distinct, I'm going to take note of that.
You take some time, take as much detailed notes as you can.
So your brother's not home, Tevin. Is that so?
It doesn't seem so. Maybe we just stay and wait.
We can come back another time. It doesn't look like there's anything, and I'm talking to Tevin, but I'm looking at Poppy. Doesn't look like there's really anything to worry about right now, Tevin. I'm sure your brother is fine, and he'll be back soon. We can meet him another time.
Yeah. We can meet him another time.
It would be very nice if we did it soon. That could, as you said, bring more memories, hopefully.
Hopefully. We can come back later. He's probably just out for a moment.
Yeah, maybe he's busy. Don't be worried. I'm sure it's okay.
He seems to be busy a lot.
Do you want to leave him a note or something to let him know that you stopped by?
That's not a bad idea.
I think I already did, and I'll point at the door.
Fair enough.
Well, okay, yeah. All right, well, I guess we'll keep going to my place.
I'll sit back and follow you all. If you start to head towards your place, Poppy, I'll follow behind.
You continue through the banks and head over to the Wraithwood.
We are approaching the Wraithwood, and I turn to Santos and Tevin. Okay, so, she, gestures to the creepy empty cornfields. So have you guys heard about the Wraithwood?
I mean, I'm sure I've heard about the Wraithwood.
It's commonly called, a haunted, scary, dangerous place.
Yeah, but that's just like a kid's story, no, right?
Yes, it is. Because I live here. And she as she points, there's creepy wind blowing in the fields. Little tumbleweed goes by at your feet. Crow caws. So as long as you know it's just rumors, follow me. And she starts partying through and making her way down the path and picking at things as she's going by. Oh my gosh, a mess. Picking up straw and hay and stuff, probably from kids trying to get in.
Cleaning up different portions of the fields as you walk by, quickly heading towards this main farmhouse until you hear in the field to your right, "Oh, you're here."
Huh? Who said that?
You see Marceau, the young Lightshade kid who said he was going to come by and try to help you sell things. You weren't here and no one answered the door, and it's kind of scary, but I figured I'd at least start. Just behind him, he has picked all of the fresh cabbage and has it in baskets ready to go. And then he even has a pile of the more muddled stuff that was either gotten at by critters or was like just not quite ripe enough for composting.
Wow. And I turned to Tevin and I'm like, this is not my child. This is a member of Lightshade, Marcel, and she looks at him with her hands on her hips and goes, is doing a very noble deed indeed. She looks at him and nods and smiles. Well, I won't disturb you. Go right on your way, and I'll open the door of the house if you want something to drink when you're done.
If we get all the stuff picked and we sell it, do you think some of the other kids could come help too?
Yeah, I don't see why not. As long as they won't, take anything they're not supposed to or run rampant.
No, I think they'll be too scared to take anything. It'll take some convincing to even get them in here, so.
She looks very softly at him, and as she's walking by, pats him on the head, and she goes, you're doing great. She turns to Santos, and Tevin is like, come on, I'll take you guys inside the house. And I guess as you guys approach, it is like this really creepy, gray-brown farmhouse that looks like something out of a horror movie. There is one little broken window pane. There's like shutters hanging off the window. It's like constantly creaking and making like groaning sounds. But Poppy just walks up to it like it's home.
Even on a beautiful day with all the sun coming down, the instant you enter this area, it feels like there's less sunlight coming down. It feels like there's clouds in the air.
I am the most saturated thing in this farm.
Wow. As we approach, I'm going to cast guidance on myself. I'm just looking around. I mean, we just came from this sort of weird situation at Tevin's, and this time I'm trying to be a little bit more on guard with what might be in this Wraithwood that's not at all haunted at all. So yeah, I'm just kind of looking around, high alert.
I'll have you roll me perception and you can use that guidance.
Oh, that is a total of 17.
Looking around, this is not natural. Watching even just some of the wind going through the crops, it feels natural. It's wind. It looks realistic. But as you're watching it, why is it on a timer almost? Wind doesn't blow and then wait the same amount of time and then blow and then wait the same amount of time and then blow the same way.
It's on a loop?
Feels like it. There's movement in the windows, even in rooms with no lights on. There is shadows moving about.
Yeah, so this is my home, guys. And Poppy stands on the porch really happy, smiling. So great. I actually haven't had guests over.
Tevin's just gonna slowly lift his arm up, and you can hear the gun slowly start to come out.
Whoa, put that down. What are you doing?
Would you like for me to check if anyone is home?
I know someone's home, all right? Take it easy. You don't need to give him a heart attack. Listen, I know it's a little creepy, okay? But it's home, okay? There's nothing wrong here. It's not spooky, all right? I've basically spent my whole life here, and look at me. And she smiles.
I'm taking this all in. Poppy's disposition, Tevin's willingness to knock on the door like how Tevin does. I'll actually approach. Are you inside yet, Poppy? Are we at the front door?
No, I'm on the porch outside, right in front of the door.
I'm gonna grab Tevin's the gun arm that started to lower. I'm gonna grab it and I'm gonna just guide Tevin towards the front door. Hey, big guy, this is how we typically make our presence known when we're visiting somebody. It's not always going to be with a bang like how you did earlier. It's just as simple as...
As you do so, there is a violent shake of the porch beneath your feet.
Okay, is that normal, Poppy?
Normally, no. Let me just go in real quick and make sure he's all right. And I open the door and it's kind of halfway slip through and close it really fast behind me.
There are much less lights on right now, much less candlelight in general for a day like today where you'd expect lights to be on. As you close that door, there is a slight shake and there is the creak of a door opening. The last few candle lights go dark for just a moment until they all relight at once.
It's you.
It's me. It's okay, Pop. I just brought some friends home. You're scaring them outside. Is that you making the house shake? Since when did you start eating so much?
Is that your friend picking out in the fields?
The kid? Yes, him too. He's been helping since I've been gone.
He didn't run.
He's a brave kid. He's part of Lightshade. He's trying to do good things around here.
If you trust him, I trust him.
Can I let in my friends?
If you'd like, but I don't want any visitors.
Well, I won't let them in if you don't want visitors. It's still your house, after all.
It's yours too.
I'll keep them downstairs.
There's something on the table for you.
Me? I go over to the table.
You remember the last time you were at this table, you dropped off a decent sum of money from your escapades at the farmhouse. In its place, you see what looks like pretty freshly tailored boomerang holster for your back.
Oh, wow, how great. And I put it on. All right, this is cool. Well, they gotta see this. Hang on. And I open up the door. Guys, check this out. My pops got it for me. And I'm turning around trying to show it to them. I'm like, come on in. I'm like, he was only making the house shake because he don't want to see you. But you guys can stay on the first floor. Come on.
When you open the door, you see Santos is down on all fours, looking at the porch, trying to study it and try to figure out okay, what is this? Seeing if there's any clues that might help me understand what this porch is and how it moved the way it moved. But my head just snaps towards you when you open the door. I'm gonna kind of pet the porch a little bit and give it a reassuring tap. And then I get up on my feet. What is that? What was that you were saying? You. What is that? And I'll point at that holster. If it looks new and different, I'm gonna notice it.
It does look new and different. It's cool and it's brown. I'm like, it's for my boomerang.
Wow, that's cool. Is that?
Come on, I want to show you guys my room. Come inside.
I'm gonna let Tevin come in.
Tevin has to bend to get shorten to get through the door. Just as I do every time. I'm half bent, hunched bending, getting into the door.
He's probably gonna slam his forehead on the top at first.
Oh, hey, buddy, easy there.
Does this house look like an abandoned house at all, or is it well lived in? Is it in disrepair?
It's all of those things.
Oh, God.
It is abandoned, haunted, in disrepair, lived in with scented candles.
This is quite a place. Or home? This is a home for you?
This is home. But here, guys, look. And I open up my rickety door that's to the right of the entryway. I imagine it's you come in and you can see a staircase immediately through, and then there's a door to the right, and then there's just a big open living room, dining room, kitchen shebang immediately to the left. She opens up her door, which is probably it's even a slightly abnormally small for a regular door. She has to crunch to get through the door and then stand up tall again afterwards. I'm like, this is my room. And there's a bed of hay with some clothes on it, some drawings, and boomerang buff and shoemaking stuff on the floor.
Santos and Tevin, as you enter, you see all of those things that Poppy just described, save for a staircase. You do not see a staircase heading upward.
You see Santos looking around, kind of eyes darting from one corner of the room to another corner of the room. I snap to you, Poppy, and I get really close to you. Tell me it's safe here. It's safe here. There's no one else here, just us, right?
Well, yeah. And Pop's upstairs.
Santos kind of backs up and towards the nearest wall, and you just can tell that his breathing is starting to get kind of agitated. Okay, it's safe here,
easy.
right?
It's safe here. I sleep here every night. I've been here for a long time.
Okay.
It's safe.
Okay.
Hey, I know it's not the prettiest house, but geez, dude.
I've been to a place like this before. I just, something about this is familiar to me, and but I trust you. So I'm following your lead. You're gonna show us something. I'm sorry, this isn't about me, it's about you.
I was showing you my bed and my room, because it's cool. You can see notches on like the windowsill for height.
Oh.
Like measurements. Starts at probably like 2 feet, 3 feet, then it goes to 5, 6, and then 7, and maybe some change. Like there's like an immediate weird growth spurt that has happened.
I'm just looking around, looking at that, the notches, and any other sign of like whatever you keep. Like what? Where's your stuff?
She's just, there's not much in there. It's like a grubby old little nightstand that has like dragon chess pieces on it. And a lot of what's in her room is shoemaking materials. And there's a lot of stain on the floor by this old rickety table where she has all these projects going on that have clearly not been finished. She's kind of one of those people that's definitely started stuff and not finished the last one because, she just had this really cool idea for a shoe.
Are they all different sizes, or are they all shoes that look like they were meant for you?
Varies, but most of them are meant for her.
I'm going to point out like a small pair of shoes if there's a small one. Who were those for?
Selling. It's like a hobby. You've never noticed this? And she, on her like belt, flips out her cobbler's tools.
I've noticed that. I just didn't really know this extent. And I kind of gestured to all of the like stacks and rows of shoes. I'm sure are there piles?
Yeah, there's like piles, shelves. Yeah.
I didn't know the extent of it. That's all.
Well, I gotta take care of this place somehow. I mean, I've spruced it up quite nice, and there's like a creak as she said, like a really loud, like, as she says that.
Huh.
But let me get you guys something to drink. Well, here, go back into the other room. Let me get you something to drink.
Are there a lot of shoes on the ground?
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab 2 of the biggest ones.
Yeah. She goes into the other room and you guys, okay, so if you guys can't see this staircase, I guess see her walking towards this wall and she knocks on it. Hey, I'm gonna treat my friends to something to drink and then we'll be out of your hair soon, okay, Pop?
There's a loud creak coming from upstairs.
No response for her?
No.
Okay, well, he doesn't like guests, sorry, so she just prepares you guys with some old copper cups with some water in them and hands them to you guys. I promise you this place isn't haunted.
Mm-hmm.
She is not very convincing, is she?
I need to get some air. I go to drink the water and I don't. What I do instead is I put some of the water in my hand and just splash a little bit of it on my face. And I just head out of the room and back out to the front porch. I just need to get some air. I'm sorry, Poppy. I just need to step out.
I suppose we should step outside.
I'll take the water and just splash the whole thing on my face. Put the shoes on the ground, just step on top of them.
I will be outside waiting for you.
And then just walk outside behind Santos.
Feeling kind of awkward. I guess a little lame. She's kind of like, I guess my friends don't like my house, but that's okay. I wonder if I said anything weird. She's like, hey, I think we got our little refresher, Pop. I think we're gonna probably get going, all right?
I hope it fits the boomerang okay.
I think it's gonna be perfect. I guess I'll see you soon. Let the kids help out in the farm while I'm gone, okay? I'm picking up some work, so I might not be around so often.
I'm not stopping the farm, so they'll just have to be brave.
They're gonna be very brave, don't you worry. I love you, and I'll see you soon. And she walks out, closes the door behind her. Well, sorry guys, I didn't mean for my house to creep you out. And she scratches the back of her neck and walks down the porch steps, which again, it's insane how they're barely hanging on by a thread holding her weight. And Tevin's, honestly, crazy.
I'm just walking ahead, trying to find my way back. I'll turn around and I'll say to Poppy, I'm just glad that you got a chance to come home for a bit, that's all.
Yeah, me too. Let's see if we can kind of catch up with the gang.
I'm already moving at a pretty fast pace out of this forest.
Santos, wait, you're going through the wrong field. It's the left, not the right.
You are able to head towards the finger trap, and unfortunately for Santos, who wanted to be there first, this little escapade took a little bit longer than expected, and you come in to Jack, Lenore, and Bjorg freshly sitting down at the same booth you were at previously.
I'll join them silently.
Well. What did the goody two-shoes get up to?
Hello, friends. Brother? Oh, hello. I missed you.
We already broke into the place and we killed him. We got stuff, so.
What?
I'm just kidding. And I push you.
You
But you don't go anywhere.
I don't go anywhere. We went to go visit my pops, my dad.
You guys met a dad?
No, not exactly. We didn't get to see him face to face. We also went to Tevin's and didn't get to meet Tevin's brother, but we tried. And they were and then I just kind of trail off and stop talking.
Well, Pop doesn't really like visitors, so he kind of stayed upstairs. But he gave me this, and she turns around, and her boomerang is in this really cool brown leather holster strapped next to her knapsack on her back.
Fancy.
Yeah, I think he got it for me. Or got it made for me. This thing's definitely got to be custom for this baby. And she flicks her boomerang.
Nice. And why didn't you meet Tevin's brother?
He wasn't home.
Brother and Pickles were gone for the day.
Were you able to show him your room and stuff?
We could not make it inside, sadly. I did leave a note, though.
Yeah, he blasted the door.
He knows we will be coming back.
Oh, you don't have a key to your own place?
A key?
Yeah, one of these. And I hold up this old, rusty, horrible-looking key.
I have always just seemed to have been able to enter my home.
It doesn't seem like Tevin has ever, in the, few days that Tevin has been walking around, doesn't seem like Tevin has ever made it home without his brother there to let him in. Doesn't seem like he can get in.
He's been home my entire life.
Okay. Well, we're doing the thing tomorrow night.
What did we learn? Anything new?
I got the address, and Clove is hurt, so she's gonna stay outside. And we got this buzzy thing, and I point at Bjorg.
I hold up a box.
What does that do?
This is the receiver. They're sending us in. Apparently, there is more security measures en route to Darian's abode, and we have to get there before they can all set them up. They are going to interact with the cart that is delivering said security measures to hopefully stall them as much as they can. We are going to go into Darian's. They are going to hopefully give us a time frame, an opening, keep eyes on Darian, and if anything goes wrong, this thing is going to vibrate like crazy.
They want it to be like an all hands on deck situation. Go in quiet, hopefully get out quiet.
Easy peasy.
But again, I look over at Poppy. If you're uncomfortable, I wouldn't go. If you're not in it all the way, you're compromising the rest of us too.
Listen, I made sure that my home situation was taken care of. No one will see me if I don't want them to.
I'll push over a glass or a mug of dry wine, kind of nods all right. Takes a sip from his own ale.
You're actually gonna go with us?
Yes.
That's amazing. It's gonna be so much fun. Also, he has a boyfriend that hangs out inside naked. And this boyfriend goes into a garden shack, and then he comes out, and then he goes in the house. So we think there's something in the garden shack that gives you a key inside or something. And there's a dog. It's brown, and it's got long pointy ears.
Is it a guard dog?
I was just about to ask.
Probably.
Sounds like it.
It's a garden dog.
So, what I'm hearing is it is not necessarily going to be easy to get in, although we have an idea of how, and that we should be ready for something to try to stop us.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Possibly many somethings.
We've got time. We have opportunities. We have a lot at our disposal, especially given that it is tomorrow night. If I can spend the night prepping things, I might be able to just ensure our security so you guys can do what you need to do. I'll be basically second pair of eyes and try to just stall anyone and anything that could rush you while you do the searching.
Can you make another ring? That might be helpful. If you can do that, I'll pay for the materials.
I'm pretty sure I have the dimensions back at the cot. I'll check when we get back.
Let's do it.
All right.
No, we have to sleep first, so
We have to drink first. I'll raise my glass.
cheers.
We should go to karaoke.
A beautiful cheers, and we will get to our break-in and our preparations next time.
And our karaoke.
And our karaoke. That's behind the scenes. We'll do karaoke behind the scenes.
Oh God, no.
Oh, man.
All right, for today, that's a wrap. Thank you all so much for listening. We'll see you over behind the scenes for some karaoke, and we'll talk about this episode and about the impending break-in. You can get that over on patreon.com/castparty. Thank you all so much for listening. We'll see you then. Bye.
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 Oh, bye.
Bye.
I hope they are in. I don't want to have to work with the others who showed up for the job. Some of them weren't cut out for it.
No kidding. Remember a new guy?
Huh. Came in wearing a cloak of enchanted leaves to make himself invisible. Then he just stood in the bush the whole time. We could all see him.
Yeah, and then there was Anne. Thought we needed a morale booster and kept singing that off-key shanty during the briefing. I'm all for sea shanties, but there's a time and place.
Dubward, though, real impressive with that sword spinny thing he did. But he, spun it so hard he took out a whole table of maps and nearly beheaded Saint E-Love in the process.
Oh yeah, Saint E-Love, the one who swore he could talk to animals, brought in a squirrel as backup, and it ran off with all the bread.
Don't even get me started on Eric 5. Said he had a special sense for booby traps, but set off every single trap in the practice hall. One wasn't even armed, but he still managed to trigger it.
Then there's Forerunner. Claimed he was a master of disguise to infiltrate anywhere. It was a mustache. Just a mustache.
And Heather said she could pick any lock in seconds. Spent 3 hours on the door to the broom closet. Amazed she wasn't crying by the end of it.
Isui came in dressed like an officer from Nightshade. Said he could be an inside man. Too bad they walked into a real Nightshade officer at the tavern later. Didn't end well.
JD was the one with the explosives, right? Thought we could just blow a hole in the back of the wall. But during testing, he didn't check which wall we were blowing up. Blew a hole right in the baker shop next door. I can still smell the burnt bread.
The burnt bread? I still smell the fish. Remember Jesky Fire, the acrobat? Thought she could flip in through the windows. First jump, fell right into a barrel of fish.
Jonas said they were great with distractions. Their idea of distraction? A puppet show. Middle of the crowded street. Guards were so confused I think they arrested him out of pity.
Haley insisted on bringing a bag full of marbles. Said they were perfect for creating obstacles. Then she tripped on them, fell down the hill, and broke her nose.
Lexi said she was really good at blending in. Painted themselves the same color as the wall and stood there for hours. Then we couldn't find her anymore, and now I'm missing my wallet.
Oh, and Opti thought it would be a great idea to ride into the operation on a Pegasus, which sounds great until you realize she has no idea how to land the thing. Crashed right into the fountain.
Ryan said they'd take care of all the stealth by casting a silence spell. They cast it on themselves during our interview, though. We didn't hear a word from them for the whole meeting.
Don't forget Bass Drop, the illusionist. They made themselves look like an elderly person. Problem was, they forgot to change their voice. Still sounded like a teenage goblin.
Oh, and Bubba thought they could charm their way past anyone, and they did, until they charmed a guard right into proposing. I hear they're planning a spring wedding now.
Ebab Flow, no. They brought a lute, said music would guide our hearts, but that was the worst lute playing I've ever heard. We almost turned ourselves in just to get it to stop.
So none of them made the cut. I have in my notes someone named Winkle would have been a great fit. Who was that?
Winkle was the squirrel that ran away with the bread.
Do we know where it went?
We aren't bringing the squirrel.